Welcome back to my CST channel, Cognitive Stimulation Therapy for people with mild to moderate dementia. Just for fun and enjoyment, but also to get those little grey cells working. So this week's memory quiz is about Thanksgiving. What have we got on my t-shirt? We got Snoopy and we've got Woodstock. What are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? Do you feel blessed? I think the things I'm most thankful for are my husband, my family, my friends, my dog, and the life that I've had. I've had a great life, really happy. So I'm very grateful to everyone for that. What's your happiest memory? What are you most proud of? What's your biggest, most significant life achievement? What is the one thing you regret not doing? What's on your bucket list? For me, lots of places I would like to travel and visit, and hopefully I'll get time to do that. So I hope you enjoy this week's memory quiz, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now. Okay, so let's spend some more time thinking those questions through. So what are your happiest memories? Maybe it would be good to open up your photograph albums and pause this video and check out your happiest moments. What is the proudest moment in your life? The moment you felt the most fulfilled and that you really achieved something? Take time to think. I know when you're coping with an illness like dementia, it can be quite difficult to feel thankful and grateful, or to feel blessed especially. But there are things, if you dig a bit deeper, that you will be thankful for, like those who are supporting you, the skills that you still have, the memories that are still there, the person that you still are. What is the greatest gift you've ever been given? Or the greatest gift that you ever gave? Life is all about giving, isn't it? And helping others and being kind. And I never like to think about regrets, but there are things that I would still like to do or would have liked to have done. So what are the top 3 things on your bucket list? It's probably time for a song break, isn't it? I love this, Magic Moments by Perry Como. I think for people with dementia, living well with dementia, nice, happy, golden moments count for everything. They mean everything. Because they can add up to give you a really profound and strong sense of well-being.
Magic moments when 2 hearts are caring. Magic moments, memories we've been sharing. I'll never forget the moment we kissed the night of the hayride. The way that we hugged to try to keep warm while taking a sleigh ride. Magic moments, memories we've been sharing. Magic moments when 2 hearts are caring. Time can't erase the memory of these magic moments filled with love. the telephone call that tied up the line for hours and hours. The Saturday dance, I got up the nerve to send you some flowers. Magic moments, memories we've been sharing. Magic moments when two hearts are caring. Time can't erase the memory of these magic moments filled with love.
The way that we cheered whenever our team was scoring a touchdown.
The time that the floor fell out of my car when I put the clutch down.
The penny arcade, the games that we played, the fun and the prizes.
The Halloween hop when everyone came in funny disguises. Magic moments filled with love.
Okay, it's time for our idioms round, or well-known phrases. So I say the first bit, you shout out the next bit and complete the phrase. So the first one is home, sweet, what? Home, sweet home. Count your what? Count your blessings. Be grateful for small. Be grateful for small mercies. It's a blessing in what? A blessing in disguise. Better late than never. So far, so. So far, so good. The best of both. The best of both worlds. Actions speak louder than. Actions speak louder than words. Good things come to those who. Good things come to those who wait. The best thing since sliced. The best thing since sliced bread. Come rain or come. Come rain or come shine. Fortune favours the what? Fortune favours the brave. Take the rough with the. Take the rough with the smooth. Sometimes you've just got to weather the. Weather the storm. through thick and thin. When we're really happy, we're on cloud 9. Carpe diem, a Latin phrase that means seize the day. Make the most of every day. And the Bible tells us that the golden rule of life is to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And the last one is thank your lucky stars. Right, it's time for our next song break, and funnily enough, it's Lucky Stars by Dean Friedman.
What are you crazy? How in the hell can you say what you just said?
I was talking to myself, shut the door and come to bed.
By the way, I forgot to say, your endearing mother called today.
Did you see Lisa?
Yes, I saw Lisa.
Is that why you're angry?
I wasn't angry,
Maybe a little.
not even maybe.
Must be the weather.
Now don't be a baby.
Well, how am I supposed to feel with all the things you don't reveal? And you can thank your lucky stars that we're not as smart as we'd like to think we are. Would you like to talk about it?
There's not much to say. We had lunch this afternoon. Her life's in disarray. She still goes around as if she's always stumbling off a cliff.
Do you still want her?
What are you saying?
Do you still want her?
Baby, stop playing.
Really, I mean it. Can you forget her?
Baby, now stop it. You should know better. I know this is hard to do, but there's no one for me but you. And you can thank your lucky stars that we're not as smart as we'd like to think we are. Baby, I'm sorry I was wrong. I have no alibis. I was acting like a fool and I apologize.
Listen, hon, I know you're dumb, but that's okay. You don't have to look so glum.
Do you still love me?
Yes, I still love you.
You mean you're not just being nice?
Not just being nice.
Do you feel
Oh,
sleepy?
you're so sincere. Yes, I feel sleepy.
We'll slide over here, 'cause I may not be all that bright, but I know how to hold you tight. And you can thank your lucky stars that we're not as smart as we'd like to think we are.
And you can thank your lucky stars that we're not
Right, our next round, we're going to look at a bit of American history associated with Thanksgiving Day. So the first question is, which Italian explorer and navigator is said to have discovered the Americas in 1492? What was the name of the ship which brought the Pilgrims from Plymouth to Cape Cod in Massachusetts in November 1621? There were 102 people on board. The Pilgrims were given another name because they wanted to cleanse the teachings and ceremonies of the Church of England. What was the other name? Aside from Thanksgiving and fasting days, which were unplanned in response to challenges such as drought or flood, the Pilgrims celebrated one day a week. Which one? How did the native Wampanoag tribe help the Pilgrims soon after their arrival and their first awful winter, which saw more than half of them die? Which US president proclaimed a national Thanksgiving Day in 1863 during the Civil War? Before that time, different states celebrated on different days. In 1784, Benjamin Franklin suggested that turkey become the national bird of the USA because they were so important to tradition and culture and are a very brave bird. But what bird was later chosen instead? Which is, statistically, the most celebrated holiday in the USA? Is it Thanksgiving or Christmas? So what do Americans celebrate on Thanksgiving Day? There are 50 states in the USA. How many of them can you name? You better pause the video. And also, what is the name given to this flag? Our next song break is, of course, Whitney Houston singing the American National Anthem. The next round isn't about turkeys voting for Christmas, but it's about American presidents pardoning turkeys, a very long-standing tradition. All I want you to do is to name the president, and I'm going to help you out by giving you their Christian name. Who was the first president to pardon a turkey in 1947? His first name was Harry. Name the president whose first name is John, and who assassinated him on the 22nd of November 1963. Name this president. His first name is Richard. And what was the scandal he was associated with called? In this next photograph, there's a president who's actually killed a turkey rather than saved it. But in any case, his first name was Jimmy. So what was his second name? And also, what crop did he used to farm? His first name was Ronald. And what was his wife's name? Here's our next president. Bill was his first name. And the other part of the question is, with which woman did he say he did not have sexual relations with? The next president is George W. And the other part of the question is, who was the British Prime Minister that with him took us into the 2001 War on Terror? Our next president is Barack. And also, where was he born? Okay, name the Donald. And what was the reality TV series he hosted before becoming the most powerful man in the world? And here's our current US president. He's only got a few more months in power. So what's his name? Joe. And also, what's his nickname? Our next song break is Marilyn Monroe singing Happy Birthday, Mr. President. So all I want to know here is, what was her birth name?
Mr. President, on this occasion of your birthday, this lovely lady is not only punctilious, but punctual. Mr. President, Marilyn Monroe. Perhaps there has been no one female who meant so much, who has done more. Mr. President, the late Marilyn Monroe.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Mr. President, for all the things you've done, the battles that you've won, the way you deal with U.S. Steel and our problems by the ton, we thank you so much. Everybody, happy birthday!
Okay, our next song break is Candle in the Wind by Elton John. One of the most beautiful songs ever written about a person, I think. Here you go.
Goodbye, Norma Jean. No, I never knew you at all. You had the grace to out of the woodwork, and they whispered into your brain. They set you on the treadmill, and they made you change your name. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never knowing who to cling to when the rain set in. And I would have liked to know you, but I was just a kid. Your candle burned out long before your legend ever did. Loneliness was tough, the toughest role you ever played. Hollywood created a superstar, and pain was the price you paid. Even when you died, oh, the press still hounded you. All the papers had to say was that Marilyn was found in the news. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never knowing who to cling to when the rain set in. And I would have liked to know you, but I was just a kid. Your candle burned out long before your legend ever did. Goodbye, normal teen. Though I never knew you at all, you had the grace to hold yourself while those around you crawl. Goodbye, normal teen. From the young man in the 22nd row who sees you as something more than sexual, more than just our Marilyn Monroe. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never knowing who to cling to when the rain set in. And I would have liked to know you, but I was just a kid. Your candle burned out long before your legend ever did. Candle burned out long before the legend ever did.
Okay, our next round is a food and drink round. Can turkeys fly, and do all turkeys gobble? How many turkeys are eaten in America on Thanksgiving Day? And also, what percentage of Americans are vegan? According to legend, which part of a turkey can bring you good luck? And how does it work? How do you tell if cranberries are ripe? Do you bounce them, see if they float, or go on their colour? Creamed corn is an important dish in a Thanksgiving dinner. Which large happy man used to advertise sweet corn in the UK. Pumpkin pie is also an important tradition. So what are the ingredients of mixed spice which is used to flavour it? Which nut is used to make this pie? What is the national drink of America, also known as the native spirit? And where did it originate from? True or false? Does eating turkey make you sleepy? Or might it be the alcohol? Here's our next song break. Who was the music that Don McLean sings about in this song? The day the music died.
Long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile. And I knew if I had my chance that I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while. But February made me shiver with every paper I'd deliver. Bad news on the doorstep, I couldn't take one more step. I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride, but something touched me deep inside the day the music died. So bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove a Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Did you write the book of love, and do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so. Now do you believe in rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow? Well, I know that you're in love with him, 'cause I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes. Man, I dig those rhythm and blues. I was a lonely teenage bronc and buck with a pink carnation and a pickup truck, but I knew I was out of luck the day the music died. I started singing bye-bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, and singing, this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die. Now for 10 years we've been on our own, and moss grows fat on a rolling stone, but that's not how it used to be. When the jester sang for the king and queen in a coat he borrowed from James Dean, and a voice that came from you and me. Oh, and while the king was looking down, the jester stole his thorny crown. The courtroom was adjourned. No verdict was returned, and while Lennon day that I die. Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee.
Okay, so our next round is a TV and movie round. In which 1939 movie did the character Scarlett O'Hara say, "As God is my witness, I'll never be hungry again"? Also, who played her character? This 1942 movie, Holiday Inn, was set around Thanksgiving when business is slow and money is tight. It was later relaunched as a Christmas movie in 1954. What was it called? Okay, so this is a poster for the Waltons Thanksgiving movie. How many of the characters can you name? Can you name these three characters from the Peanuts Thanksgiving movie? And also, who wrote the series, the comic strip? In which city was the TV sitcom Cheers set?
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Can you name the characters in The Golden Girls?
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me and the card.
Can you name this 1987 Thanksgiving film starring Steve Martin and John Candy? Can you name these two characters from Friends? And also, what did Rachel mistakenly put into her sherry trifle?
No one told you life was gonna be this way. The job's a joke you broke, love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. But when it hasn't been your day, your month, then your year. But I'll be there.
Which 1998 rom-com movie saw Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan's characters meeting online and then falling in love? Which earlier 1993 movie saw them meet at the top of the Empire State Building on Valentine's Day? Here's another lovely song from that movie to help us celebrate Thanksgiving. If we make someone happy, we'll be happy too.
so important to make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one heart-to-heart you. You sing to one smile that cheers you, one face that lights when it nears you, one girl you're everything to. Fame, if you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you've found her, build your world around her. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy, and you will be happy too.
Our next round is US landmarks. How many of these places have you been to? Which was your favourite? Which would you recommend to anyone else to visit? Name this statue. And why is she green? Name these falls. And also, what's the name of the boat? What's the name of this place in New York? And what date is it associated with? Which river carved out the Grand Canyon? And also, who fancies taking a walk on the Skywalk? It's made of glass. Name this place and the city in which it is found, and also, who's going to be the next president of the USA? Okay, so what is the name of this place? And who delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech here on August the 28th in 1963? Can you name this bridge and the city which it is part of? And can you name the nearby island prison? What's the name of this bell, and in which city would you find it? Can you name the members of Monty Python's Flying Circus who used a piece of music named after that bell as their theme song?
flying circus.
In which city would you find this sign? And back in the early days of Hollywood, what 4 letters appeared at the end of this sign? Can you name this landmark and identify the 4 presidents which are carved into it? Can you name this park in New York? And also, can you name the cafe in Friends which is associated with this park? Can you name this building in New York, which from 1931 up until 1971 was the world's tallest building? It also featured in a movie we talked about earlier. Can you name this tower and the city in which you would find it? What is the name of the most famous beach in Hawaii on the island of Oahu, or Big Island? And finally in this round, can you name this castle? And also, in front of it, who is the statue of? There are 2 characters there. What a wonderful country America is. Now we're going to hear a song by Louis Armstrong. What a wonderful world.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I never knew. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
There are subtle differences between the American English language and British English language. So let's think about some of those differences. So if I give you the English word version for each of these following pictures, you give me the American word. We call it an aubergine. What do Americans call it? We call it a courgette. What do Americans call it? We call them spring onions. What do Americans call them? We call it coriander. What do Americans call it? We call them crisps. What do Americans call them? We call them biscuits. What do Americans call them? We call them sweets. What do Americans call them? We call it jam. What do Americans call it? We call them trainers. What do Americans call them? We call it a jumper. What do Americans call it? We call it a nappy. What do Americans call it? We call it a dummy. What do Americans call it? We call it the underground. What do Americans call it? We call it a pavement. What do Americans call it? We call it a motorway. What do Americans call it? We call it petrol. What do Americans call it? We call it a car park. What do Americans call it? We call it a postcode. What do Americans call it? We call it going on holiday. What do Americans call it? We call it a mobile phone. What do Americans call it? We call it a torch. What do Americans call it? We say putting out the rubbish. What do Americans say? We call them toilets. What do Americans call them? We call the season autumn. What do Americans call it? And the last one is, we call it playing noughts and crosses. What do Americans call it? I've got that famous song by Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers called Let's Call the Whole Thing Off, or You Say Potato.
Gosh, I can't keep this up much longer. I haven't been on skates since I was a kid.
Well, it was your idea.
Yeah.
How much longer do we have to stay out here?
All the reporters will probably leave by dark. I guess it would look kind of funny if we denied the marriage now, wouldn't it?
I don't know what to do.
I don't either.
The word is either.
All right. The word is either. No use squabbling. That'll get neither of us any place.
The word is neither.
Things have come to a pretty pass. Our romance is growing flat. 'Cause you like this and the other, while I go for this and that. Goodness knows what the end will be. Oh, I don't know where I'm at. It's plain to see we two will never make one. Something must be done. You say either, and I say either. You say neither, and I say neither. Either, either, neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. You like potato, and I like potato. You like tomato, and I like tomato. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Oh, let's call the whole thing off. But oh, if we call the whole thing off, then we must part. And oh, if we ever part, then that might break my heart. So if you like pajamas and I like pajamas, I'll wear pajamas and give up pajamas. For we know we need each other, so we better call the calling off. Oh, let's call the whole thing off.
You say laughter, and I say laughter. You say after, and I say after. Laughter, laughter, after, after. Let's call the whole thing off. You like Havana, and I like Havana. You eat banana, and I eat banana. Havana, Havana, banana, banana. Let's call the whole thing off. But oh, if we call the whole thing off, then we must part. And oh, if we ever part, then that might break my heart. So if you like oysters and I like oysters, I'll take oysters and give up oysters. No, we need each other, so we better call the calling off. Oh, let's call the whole thing off.
Okay, it's time for some answers. Let's see how you did. Okay, so the person known for discovering the Americas, although obviously Native Americans have been there for millennia previously, was Christopher Columbus. The name of the ship that took the Pilgrims to Cape Cod was the Mayflower. The other name given to the Pilgrims was Puritans. The day each week that they kept sacred was Sunday, the Sabbath. The Wampanoag tribe taught the Pilgrims how to cultivate the land and what to plant. The president that introduced the national holiday of Thanksgiving was Abraham Lincoln. In a 2021 survey, 81% of Americans celebrated Thanksgiving, whereas only 77% celebrated Christmas. The national bird of America was later chosen as the bald eagle. Thanksgiving celebrates mainly the harvest and its bounty, but also the blessings of the previous year. The name of the American flag is the Star-Spangled Banner. There are 50 stars representing the 50 states, and there are 13 stripes representing the 13 original colonies. I'm not going to list them all, but here's a map of the states of America, all 50 of them. Okay, the person who was the first president to pardon a turkey was Harry Truman. The next president we looked at was JFK, and he was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald. Next, we had Nixon, and the scandal which he was associated with was Watergate. Then we had Jimmy Carter, and the crop that he used to farm was peanuts. Then we had Ronald Reagan, and his wife's name was Nancy. Then we had Bill Clinton, and the person that he actually did have sexual relations with was Monica Lewinsky. And then we had George W. Bush. He took us into the war on terror with Prime Minister Tony Blair. Next we had Barack Obama, and he was born in Oahu in Hawaii. Next we had Donald Trump, of course, and he came to fame on the TV reality series The Apprentice USA. And finally we had President Joe Biden, and his unfortunate nickname is Sleepy Joe. Marilyn Monroe's real name was Norma Jean Mortensen. She later became Norma Jean Baker. Okay, our next round answers were: only wild turkeys can fly, farmed ones are just too fat, and it's only male turkeys that actually gobble. There are 46 million turkeys eaten around Thanksgiving in the USA, and only 6% of Americans are vegan. The wishbone is the part of the turkey which brings luck. The person who snaps it with the head on is the luckiest. Making cranberry sauce, to tell if they're ripe, you bounce them. Ripe ones should bounce 4 inches high. Then we had the person who advertised sweet corn in the UK was the Jolly Green Giant. Mixed spice is generally made up of a blend of ground cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves. This pie is a pecan pie made of pecan nuts. The national drink of America, or the native spirit, is bourbon, and it originated in Kentucky. It's true, turkey does make you sleep. It contains tryptophan, which is a natural sedative, but the large amount of food eaten and alcohol drunk probably contributes. The day the music died, Don McLean's song was about Buddy Holly. Our first movie was Gone with the Wind, and this is Scarlett O'Hara, played by Vivien Leigh. Our next movie, The Holiday Inn, was remade as White Christmas. Okay, the Waltons were, Grandma and Grandpa stood up. Then we had Mum and Dad, Olivia and John. Then we had John Boy, Mary Ellen, Erin, Elizabeth, and Jason, and Jim Bob, and Ben. Next we had Peanuts, written by Charles Schulz. And the characters here are Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and Woodstock. Then we had Cheers, which was set in the city of Boston. Followed by... Next we had the Golden Girls. We had Blanche Devereaux, played by Rue McClanahan. We had Dorothy Zbornak, played by Bea Arthur. We had Rose Nyland, played by Betty White, and Sophia Petrillo, played by Estelle Getty. Next up we had Planes, Trains and Automobiles, starring Steve Martin and John Candy. Followed by... Next up we had Friends, so this is Chandler Bing, played by Matthew Perry, and Courtney Cox playing Monica Geller. And it was the first time he proclaimed his love for her. Rachel put ground beef into the trifle because she thought it was mincemeat. The next film was You've Got Mail, and it was actually based on an earlier movie called The Little Shop on the Corner. And then of course we had Sleepless in Seattle. Then we come on to our US landmarks. First off, we've got the Statue of Liberty. It's made from copper, which is why it's turned green. Then we had the Niagara Falls, and the name of the boat is the Maid of the Mist. Next we had the Ground Zero Memorial, and the date it's associated with, of course, is 9/11. The River Colorado carved out the Grand Canyon, and there's no way you'd get me on there. This is the White House, and it's in Washington, D.C. And it was at the Lincoln Memorial that Martin Luther King gave his I Have a Dream speech. Then we had the Golden Gate Bridge, which crosses San Francisco Bay. And nearby is the island prison of Alcatraz. Been there, loved it. A really unique experience. Next we had the Liberty Bell, which is in Philadelphia. And that's the music that Monty Python used as their theme song. So the cast of Monty Python were Terry Jones, Eric Idle, John Cleese, Terry Gilliam, Graham Chapman, and Michael Palin. Hollywood is in Los Angeles, and at the end of the sign used to be Hollywood Land. Okay, so this is Mount Rushmore in the hills of Dakota, and the faces are George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. The park in New York is called Central Park, and the coffee shop in Friends is called Central Perk. The tallest building in the world used to be the Empire State Building. And then we had another high building, which was the Space Needle in Seattle. Next we had Waikiki Beach in Honolulu. And the last landmark is the Disney Castle in Orlando, Florida. And of course the statue is of Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse. And then we come to the last round answers. So Americans call aubergines eggplants. They call courgettes zucchini. They call spring onions scallions. They call coriander cilantro. They call crisps chips and chips French fries. They call biscuits cookies. Sweets are candy. And candy floss is cotton candy. They love a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, so they call jam jelly. They call trainers sneakers. And jumpers are sweaters. They call a nappy a diaper. And they call the dummy a pacifier or a comforter. They call the underground the subway. And the pavement is called the sidewalk, and the zebra crossing is called the crosswalk. They call the motorway the highway or the freeway. And of course, they call petrol gas. They call a car park a parking lot. And it's not a postcode, it's a zip code. They call going on holiday going on vacation. And they call a mobile phone a cell phone. They call a torch a flashlight. And instead of saying putting out the rubbish, they put out the garbage or the trash. They call toilets restrooms. They call the autumn fall. And last but not least, they call noughts and crosses tic-tac-toe. And does anyone remember this test card, BBC test card from when we were younger?
Well, that's it for this week. I hope you did really well, and I hope you enjoyed it, more to the point. Some of the music was great, wasn't it? Really hope you enjoyed that. Next time, we'll be looking at winter, so keep your eyes open for that. Maybe give this a like and a subscribe. See you soon. God bless.
As usual, we'll finish with a few sing-alongs. Here are some great thank you songs.
Thanks for the memory of rainy afternoons, swingy Harlem tunes, motor trips and burning lips and burning toast and prunes.
How lovely it was. Thanks for the memory of candlelight and wine, castles on the Rhine, the Parthenon,
and moments on the Hudson River line.
how lovely it was.
Many's the time that we feasted,
And many's the time that we fasted.
oh well, it was swell while it lasted. We did have fun and no harm done. So thanks for the memory of crap games on the floor,
Nights in Singapore. You might have been a headache, but you never were a bore.
I thank you so much.
Thanks for the memory of China's funny walls, transatlantic calls.
That weekend at Niagara when we hardly saw the fall.
How lovely that was.
Thank you.
Thanks for the memory of lunch from 12 to 4, sunburn at the show, that pair of gay pajamas that you bought and never wore.
Say, by the way, what did happen to those pajamas? Huh?
Letters with sweet little secrets that couldn't be put in a day wire.
Too bad it all had to go haywire. That's life, I guess. I love your dress.
Do you?
It's pretty.
Thanks for the memory of faults that you forgave, rainbows on a wave,
And stockings in the basin when a fellow needs a shave. I thank you so much.
Thanks for the memory of gardens at Versailles,
And beef and kidney pie.
the night you worked and then came home with lipstick on your tie.
How lovely that was.
Huh?
For the memory of lingerie with lace.
Yes, and Pilsner by the case. And how I jumped the day you trumped my one and only ace.
How lovely that was.
We said goodbye with a highball.
And I got as high as a steeple.
Did you?
But we were intelligent people.
No tears, no fuss.
Hooray for us.
Strictly entre nous. Darling, how are you?
And how are all those little dreams that never did come true?
Awfully glad I met you.
Cheerio and toodaloo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm nothing special. In fact, I'm a bit of a bore. If I tell a joke, you've probably heard it before. But I have a talent, a wonderful thing, 'cause everyone listens when I start to sing. I'm so grateful and proud. All I want is to sing it out loud. So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. Mother says I was a dancer before I could walk. She says I began to sing long before I could talk. And I've often wondered, how did it all start? Who found that nothing can capture a heart like a melody can? Well, whoever it was, I'm a fan. So I say thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a song or a dance? What are we? So I say thank you for the music, for giving it to me. I've been so lucky. I am the girl with golden hair. I wanna sing it out to everybody. What a joy, what a life, what a chance. Thank you for the music, the songs I'm singing. Thanks for all the joy they're bringing. Who can live without it? I ask in all honesty. What would life be without a
Thank you very much for the Aintree Iron. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for the Aintree Iron. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for the birds and bees. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for the birds and bees. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for the family circle. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for the family circle. Thank you very much. Thank you very, 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 very much. You don't know how much they all mean. They seem much better in my dreams. Thank you very much for the Aintree Iron. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for the Aintree Iron. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for love. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for love. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for the Sunday joints. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for the Sunday joint and our cultural heritage.
National beverage.
Being fat.
Union Jack.
The nursery rhymes.
Sunday Times.
The napalm bomb. Everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very, 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 very much. It was simply spiffing and true. Now let me whisper, I love you. Thank you very much for the Aintree Iron. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for the Aintree Iron. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for playing this record. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for playing this record. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for our gracious team. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you very much for our gracious team. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you for the days, those endless days, those sacred days you gave me. I'm thinking of the days I won't forget a single day, believe me. I bless the light, I bless the light that lights on you, believe me. And though you're gone, you're with me every single day, believe me. Days I'll remember all my life, days when you can't see wrong from right. You took my life, but then I knew that very soon you'd leave me. But it's alright, now I'm not frightened of this world, believe me. I wish today would be tomorrow. The night is dark, it just brings sorrow, let it wait. Thank you for the days, those endless days, those sacred days you gave me. I'm thinking of the days I won't forget a single day, believe me. Days I remember all my life, days when you can't see wrong from right. You took my life, but then I knew that very soon you'd leave me. But it's alright, now I'm not frightened of this world, believe me. Thank you for the days, those endless days, those sacred days you gave me. I'm thinking of the days I won't forget a single day, believe me. I bless the light, I bless the light that shines on you, believe me. And though you're gone, you're with me every single